When I went whole food plant-based back in 2012, I was excited to eat vast amounts of food and not gain weight. And I loved consuming food, so it was breakfast, lunch, dinner, dessert, and at least 2 snack times. I was 33 at the time, and my digestive system managed all of it quite well. However, today, at 42 years young, I've learned to appreciate the light feeling that comes from intermittent fasting, longer gaps between meals, as well as smaller portion sizes. Instead of frequently munching on something, I much prefer having 3 meals a day and keeping about 4 hours between them. Do you relate? The main reason is that our digestive tract needs some rest to be healthy and function optimally. Besides, if you eat very often, then you won't feel the real hunger. The lightheadedness that comes from blood sugar spikes and lows is not real hunger. You have the real hunger if your stomach is gurgling and feels empty, and you might even feel cramps in your esophagus. This is when you should eat. How can you fit all those calories and nutrients into 3 meals? In today's video, you'll see me making and eating 3 meals that cover all my RDAs and energy requirements. And what's more is that it all comes in low glycemic form. Watch to the end, because I will reveal how many calories I got from all those meals and what's the nutritional profile. My first bite of the day is watermelon or some other fresh fruit with lower glycemic load, which I don't consider a separate meal as it's super light and easy to digest, basically water. It gives me the necessary boost for my morning walk or bike ride. That'd be around 8:30 a.m. And here I am on my power walk by the sea. Well, it can be a 1-hour walk or bike ride for that matter. It's my own time for soaking in the nature and being present. When I get back, I prepare my first meal of the day, blueberry protein bowl. All kinds of goodies go in there, like flax and chia seeds, cinnamon, turmeric, mesquite powder, ginger, pumpkin protein powder, plant milk, plain soy yogurt, and blueberries. I found that this breakfast is the best to keep my blood sugar stable for the rest of the day. If you want to see what exactly and how much goes into it, watch my video on low glycemic breakfast, where I make it step by step. You can adjust the quantities to your liking and needs. For example, the mornings I do my strength training or take on a longer bike ride or a walk, I eat a bigger portion, and on slow mornings cut the volume down a bit. This is an ideal breakfast situation, sitting down with my bowl and concentrating on the food. However, more likely I'll be scrolling through my emails and answering YouTube and social media comments that have been left during the night. I'm usually done with my brekkie by 10:30–11 a.m. Hola, gato gatito. Yes, I'm speaking Spanish to my cat, don't ask. ¿Dónde vas? Okay, that's that. And it's matcha time. It's around 12, not to let green tea to mess with vitamin and mineral absorption. For me, making and drinking matcha is one of the most important rituals of the day. In fact, I love it so much that some days I do it twice. If you're interested, I guide you through the process step by step in a previous video, Low Glycemic Vegan Recipes for a Day. Go and check it out. And if you care to know about the relationship between Candida overgrowth and matcha, or green tea in general, head over to my video 14 hot and cold drinks for Candida diet. Okay, let me enjoy my matcha now. When the lunch approaches, I prepare the main meal of the day, a huge salad. Let's start with sautéing kale stems and leaves. The stems need 4 to 5 minutes and the leaves about 3 minutes. Then I boil whole wheat pasta, but it can be any whole grain pasta you prefer. So I start with kale, then add some romaine lettuce, because I didn't have enough kale for the daily leafy greens. White cabbage. Would have preferred red, but this is what I had in the fridge. a few microwave mushrooms. Microwaved because apparently this is the most effective method to get rid of the toxin called agarotine, which may be carcinogenic. Watch the Nutrition Facts.org video I've linked to from the description. Cooled boiled potatoes, or you might choose sweet potatoes. They're high in potassium and an excellent source of resistant starch. Boiled whole wheat pasta or any other whole grain pasta. And now come the legumes. Edamame beans, one of my favorite beans, and black beans. Finally, I decided to add soaked goji berries, which are a great source of vitamin A. Soaked because I don't like how dried berries stick to the teeth. And what makes this salad whole is my miso cashew dressing. Watch how I make it in my previous video, oil-free salad dressings. In case you'd prefer less volume, I suggest using boiled charred spinach instead of kale. Another option would be to make chickpea-based salad dressing and decrease the quantity of legumes accordingly. As you can see, the combining options are endless. Use any kind of legumes you prefer or have at hand, any type or form of whole grains, millet, spelt, sorghum, rice, buckwheat, quinoa, or bread and pasta made of those grains. Then any kind of cruciferous veggies, cauliflower, broccoli, pak choi, radishes, starchy veggies, potatoes, sweet potatoes, beetroot, winter squashes, parsnips, or corn. As a side note, I'm making 2 portions as my hubby wants to eat as well. And the one portion divides into 2. One portion to be eaten at lunchtime and the other at dinner with dessert. So this is the size of the bowl that caters 2 meals for 2 people or feeds 1 person for 2 days. Here you can see 1 portion, that is a quarter of the recipe provided in the description. I'd say eat as much as you want for lunch and leave the rest for dinner. I totally forgot kimchi for some spiciness and tanginess, if you are the kind of person who appreciates such things. And here's my fluff nugget once again. You have the best life, don't you? To end my meals, I had this delicious as well as nutritious dessert. It all starts with sprouted buckwheat. If this seems overwhelming, simple soaking will do. However, I suggest to check out my video about how to sprout buckwheat and you might give it a try. Add soaked and rinsed or sprouted buckwheat into a beaker or a blender, then some frozen or fresh mango, almond butter or any other nut or seed butter, or discard if you want to have it super low in fats. Firm tofu that will make it feel and taste like ricotta cream. Fresh or frozen strawberries or any other preferred berries. Some cinnamon for flavor. And finally, plant milk, soy, oat, almond, you choose. Process it with a regular or an immersion blender. This is the consistency. If you feel that you want to thicken it up a bit, add ground chia seeds or psyllium husks for lower fat option. I also like to add some raspberry apple soy yogurt with no added sugars. Add some extra silkiness. And then I enjoyed watching a movie on Netflix. I'm done eating by 6:30 p.m. so that there will be 13-14 hours between dinner and the fruit in the morning. Here's the grand total of calories, which is sufficient for my age, gender and activity level. Might even be too much on the days with no high-intensity exercise. An overview of carbohydrates, which make 44% of calories. And fats, 28% of calories. Definitely not a low-fat menu, but not high-fat either. As you can see, there's no need to worry about the amount of protein or the amino acid profile. Vitamin E was the only vitamin I didn't reach, but this would be easily adjustable by substituting kale with spinach and have some red peppers. Almonds are high in vitamin E as well, but I wouldn't want to increase fats any further. You might, it's just me. And obviously I supplement B12 and D3. All the minerals are covered as well. As you saw, Most of the nutrients are way over RDAs, so it is okay to eat less if you feel full before the meal is finished. In fact, it is not a good idea to force yourself to eat. Simply keep in mind the variety of foods, not to miss out on anything. The Daily Dozen is an excellent guideline when it comes to balancing your menu. I'll include the link to the Daily Dozen checklist below. Now, how often do you eat? And is your body happy about it? Let me know in the comments and inspire others as well.